Good morning, class 5. Welcome back to your computer class. As you can see, the book which I'm showing you all, the Cordova publication, Computer Studies, Part 5. This is the book which has been prescribed for this year. You will use this book as the school reopen. Last classes were what we have learned from the chapter from the last year books. Almost same chapter we have over here, the first chapter. So let us begin the chapter. Already we have almost completed the chapter, but still I want to do or explain you from this book so that it will be easy for you to understand chapter number 1. So let's begin. Chapter number 1, as you can see, it's given revolution of computer, evolution. So as you see, it's given the evolution over here, revolution, evolution, and history of computer. Almost same. It's because here the word revolution, evolution, and history, when you going to do this, it will say about the changes took place in the years after years in the history of computer. So when we have done this chapter in class 4 and even this new academic session, when I started this chapter in online classes, so almost I have covered the chapter, but still let us see what new thing if we can get from this chapter and from this new book. As it says, history of computer. Dear children, you know that the computer is a fast calculating machine that performs different operations. Although the computer was originally invented for high speed and accurate calculation, but it is not a calculating device only. So there was a time, you know, that nowadays the computer is used for not only calculation. There was a time when people used to use computer for calculation. The word computer came from the word compute, which means calculation. So for that, people need a calculator or calculating device. But today, what you see, the computer is not only a calculating device. Beside calculating device, we can do lots of things. We can draw, we can paint, we can send email letters, we can receive letters, we can have video conference, we can have online classes, and so many things we can do in computer nowadays. The computer performs any kind of work involving arithmetic and logical operation on data, process it as per the instruction or input given and gives the information as output. So computer works on the process of IPO cycle. IPO cycle means input, processing, output. Whatever input will give, it will process, and then it will give out the output. Do you know how the computer was developed? The development of computer started with the mechanical device. Slowly they were improved to electromechanical device, and finally the electronic computer came into existence. So initially, when the computer started, it was just a mechanical device. Slowly the electronic computer, now today you can see electronic computers. The electronic computer means the computer which use electricity to run. Mechanical computer doesn't need electricity. It is a mechanical device where a human being can use, like abacus. It's a mechanical device. But today's computer is an electronic computer. It needs electricity. So let us learn about some of the devices. So you know, we have learned these devices. Abacus, I don't want to waste time, I want to go ahead also along with it. So but still, let me just give you the short gist of all these devices. Abacus, China, but it is 3000 BC. But if you can remember, I have told you that the abacus was discovered in Babylonia, which is more than 3000 BC. Then it came up with the features. What are the features are there? First mechanical device used for calculation. So it was the first mechanical device which is used for calculation. Performs addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication and division with it. Made up of wooden frame with rods each having bits. Frame is divided into two parts, heaven and earth. I have already given you the picture how the abacus look like, and it's the description of the abacus. Just keep that thing in your mind. So after abacus, we can see more devices, and almost same devices what we have discussed before. Same thing are there. That John Napier 1617 introduced another machine which is known as Napier bone. It performs multiplication with repeated addition and division with repeated subtraction. Consists of rectangular strips of rods made from bones and ivory. Rods has numbers written on it. So you can see that it has been described about the Napier bone. Now, as whatever the Napier bone we learned in the previous classes, keep those points and these points also together and start learning it. Next one is Blaise Pascal of the Pascal line. It was introduced in 1641. Performs only addition and subtraction. Look like a rectangular boxes. Use gears, wheels and dials. Numbers were displayed by rotating the wheel. So as the wheel is to rotate, the number automatically is to come there. Also known as adding machine. This is also known as adding machine. You can see the picture of Blaise Pascal. Next, difference engine by Charles Babbage 1822. Performs mathematical operation automatically. Earliest automatic calculator. Steam provides the power to make it work, so it uses steam power. Analytical engine again by Charles Babbage 1837. General purpose fully program controlled automatic digital computer, but it was never built. Had 5 unit input, output, stored, mills and control. So the system, this is the what today's computer follows: input, output, processing, control and storing. So all these things which it's worked in this way. Formed the basic for all modern computers. So today, as I told you, since analytical engine is to have this 5 unit, the input, output, store, mill or the CPU and control. This 5 unit is this to have the concept has been used for today's computer: input, processing and output. Next we have Dr. Herman Hollerith tabulating machine 1890s. First electronic machine capable of reading data, processing it and giving output. So it was there, which was first electronic machine used for reading data and gives us the output. Use punch card to give input, records and store information. So it is, this one is to give information with the help of punch card. Mark I was developed by Howard H. Aiken in the year 1944. First fully automatic digital computer, marked the beginning of the era of modern computing. Also known as automatic sequence control controller. Also known as automatic sequence controlled calculator. So these are the units, or these are the devices. You can see in the year wise we have. In the previous classes you have learned about ENIAC, UNIVAC. You also have to learn that also. So class, back again. The next page, in page number 7, you can see ENIAC, EDSAC and UNIVAC. Just now I told you that in the previous classes you have learned about ENIAC, UNIVAC, you have learned. So in this page number 7 you can find about the explanation is given there. This book is very good. Why I want to say that, it's because you have a point wise and you have the column wise as I gave you to write, so you can able to learn it properly. When you are learning it, you learn the name of the device, the inventor, the year it was invented, and what are the features was it. ENIAC, Electronic Numeric Integrator and Calculator. It was by John Morley and J. Pressburg and Eckert. John Morley, J. Pressburg, Eckert. 1946. First general purpose electronic digital computer, 1,000 times faster than Mark I, consists of 18,000 vacuum tubes. So you know the first generation computer is to use vacuum tubes, so this machine is to use vacuum tubes. EDSAC, Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator, Maurice Wilkes. 1949. First electronic computer that used stored program. So it was the first electronic computer that used stored program. So the program was stored, fed in, and then it can be used later on. Faster than ENIAC. Next we have UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer, by John Morley, J. Pressburg, Eckert. 1951. The first commercially available electronic computer, first computer to handle both numeric and text data. So you can see again, when the year passes by, the computer become more faster and faster. So let us go to the generation of computers. Back to generation of computer. Already we have done generation of computer, but let us see what is generation. As you can see in this picture, the picture shows the family, interfamily, the grandparents, mother, father, and the children are there. So this is generation. Your grandfather, your father, and you. 3 generations are there. So computer also have different generation. So let us see the first generation of computer. So ready class? First generation of computer was 1940 to 1956. As you know, it is used vacuum tubes. The features: very heavy and large in size, very expensive, slow in speed, generates a lot of heat, limited commercial use as they were difficult to program. And the example of this one, you can see over here, some examples are there, like ENIAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC. ENIAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC. The second generation computer, 1956 to 1964, transistor. It looks like this. I have shown you the picture of transistor in previous classes. See, smaller, cheaper, faster than first generation computer. So as the days pass by, it becomes smaller, the size becomes smaller, it becomes more cheaper, the speed of the computer becomes more faster, wider commercial use as they were easy to program than first generation computer. So it was wider use, more people used to use this computer. The example of this one is, so you can see over here, ENIAC 1401, IBM 700, CDC 160. These are some example of second generation computer. Now come to the third generation computer. 1964 to 1975, the third generation computer used to use integrated circuit or the IC. It again, see the features, it becomes smaller, more smaller than the second generation computer, cheaper, faster than the second generation computer, more accurate than the second generation computer, increase storage capacity, known as general purpose computer, as they were able to execute any type of application. Example, IBM 360, ICL 1900, VAX 750. So you can see the second generation computer is to use integrated circuit. In short, it is to known as, we call it IC. The fourth generation computer, 1975 and present, this computer use microprocessor, Intel Core 17. You can see over there it's given Intel. Now the size of this computer become more smaller, more cheaper, more faster than the third generation computer, more reliable and accurate than third generation computer, very easy to handle, great storage capacity, popular used at home and offices. Example, IBM 4300, ICL 2900, HP 9000. So these are the computer. You can see as the days pass by, the computer become more smaller, more cheaper, more faster, the storage capacity increase more and more, and it become more accurate also. So the first generation computer is to use vacuum tube, second generation transistor, third generation IC, integrated circuit, fourth generation microprocessor. Now what about the fifth generation computer? Fifth generation is present and beyond that, which is going to come in future. It will use artificial intelligence like human being, able to think and take decision like us, used in areas such as robotic and defense. So the robots, you can see, you have seen in the robots that especially in Japan, the robots use people use robots in malls, in hospitals, to do their work. So this artificial intelligence which will come up in future for computer. Thus each new generation resulted in the following changes: decrease in size and cost. So the huge big computer now become a small computer on your desk. Increase in the speed, when it was very slow, now the computers are very fast. Reliability, you can rely now, you can trust it, there's make hardly any mistake. And storage capacity is too good. During this, the storage capacity was less, almost no capacity was there. Slowly it became the storage capacity, and day by day, as the day passed by till now, the storage capacity have increased a lot. So class, this was what we have done in our previous classes, and I have done the revision what we have done with the old book and with the new book. So taking both the chapters what you have done in previous classes and now today, just read the chapter, you have the points, I will give you more notes, and just prepare with these things and you can able to learn the chapter well. Thank you class.